Welcome, welcome.
Jose's camera decided to spontaneously resize itself, so I had to adjust that. Now I have to mute the browser. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Jose?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you,
I'm
Olivia?
good. I'm returning from Turkey Day, Thanksgiving holiday, which was good.
Have you eaten your turkey?
Yes, all of it. It's finally gone. It's all finally gone, as I'm sure is, well, I don't know if anyone has anything left of the turkey by now, truly.
I heard that this feast can last for several days. Well, not the feast, the eating of the
Yeah,
turkey.
there are always
The
these
whole week.
recipes that come out on like how to use like the turkey bones and make make broth from them and like use the absolute most from Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I've been only to one Thanksgiving Day in the US. It was a really memorable experience, I must admit.
It's fun. I don't know how when was your last Thanksgiving?
I really like.
When
Sorry?
was your last Thanksgiving?
I do not celebrate Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, isn't like the
but
one
I was
in the
invited
US?
while I was in the US. Okay. Actually, it was in Miami once when I was working a long time ago, and it was quite fun.
Oh, Miami I think would be a fun place to celebrate Thanksgiving.
I was imagining a whole family, my host family was staying there, and they did actually a wonderful job to have a memorable experience for me. I really liked it.
It can be a fun time. I don't know how travel would have gone for a lot of people. I know a lot of friends of mine who just ended up staying home because of everything that's going on, but I hope that everybody had a good one anyway.
Yeah.
And my friend over in the Netherlands, her and her family did their own Thanksgiving of just them because they're moved from America, and of course it's not celebrated over there, so they created it for themselves too.
Is she the one from Den Haag or Rotterdam?
Den Haag, if I'm saying it right.
Okay.
Which I'm probably not, but
Den Haag.
Den Haag? Okay.
Yeah. How do you say that in English? It's The Hague.
Yeah.
The Hague.
But enough on Turkey, and today we're going to talk about the small service delivery app, which we presented at Weird Developers recently, which already feels like a really long time ago somehow.
Yes, it was no more than a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. It feels like over a month ago already because somehow time is moving more slowly. But if you didn't see on
at the end of the year,
at the end of the year, time is compressing somehow.
Compressed.
And so I know we split this into two parts, and Jose, I know we were going to focus today on, I think, most of the algorithms, right? And so I'll talk a little bit about the algorithm that we used, and then you'll show a little bit, right?
A little bit of what we did last time, yes, on the conference. And I think last time we posted as well the code that we did for the demo. It's in GitHub. I don't know if you have the link that if you want to add it to the chat.
Yeah, we can add it in a link, or we can also paste it below too.
Yeah, it's in. If you I'm sharing my screen so you can see it there.
Yeah, when I switch it over, I can switch it over. Do you want me to actually switch the screen to you if you want to? Okay,
sure.
Let's do that. I can always switch back if I want to talk about the algorithms a little bit. All right, so this is the GitHub with the small service delivery app code that Jose is showing now.
Yeah, it's a small application written in one single file. It's supposed to be basic. I'm not using any frameworks, for example. It's just trying to do minimum JavaScript. And the premise is very simple. We wanted to demo how using the TomTom Maps APIs, if you have if you work in an industry or you have a company or a business, that's what I want to try to say. If you have a business that delivers products, could be in this case, I think we use alcohol or food. Food.
I think we did food, meaning it to be whatever it is you want to have delivered.
Yeah, so we selected several destinations, and based on where the original delivery places are, we want to optimize the route, that your driver knows how to get to all the deliveries on time and in the most optimized route possible. Yeah. For that, I think we did a devisode, should be already a couple months ago, about the traveling salesman problem, right?
Yeah, we did. So that's why I switched it back to the episode screen, because I'll go ahead and talk about traveling salesman, which we talked about in the presentation, and sort of explain what that is, because understanding traveling salesman, I think, is super important to understand just in general what's going on when we talk about algorithms, if you haven't really interacted with routing before and things like that. So I really like that we found this running businessman for this piece on the traveling salesman problem, because it's just a fun little joke on what the original problem was, which is saying that given a list of locations, what's the shortest possible route that visits every location and returns to the origin location. And the important part of this is that it's an example that's only solvable by manual checking. So there's no one and done equation that solves traveling salesman. And this is fine, but in routing, it's a little bit harder than actually doing just pathfinding in terms of visiting each location, going back to it in a straight line, because the distances will have to fall along actual roads with actual turns and actual traffic, which adds a lot more variables to the problem and creating drivable paths from one place to the next location. And so that's what we account for with routing, because our routing, of course, accounts for things like traffic. It accounts for road closures and other things like that. And that's where we chat about the algorithm we actually used, which is nearest neighbor. And
one of them, yes.
You want to talk about nearest neighbor a little bit? Yeah, for sure.
No, it's okay.
We've co-presented this before, so
the convex, yeah. The convex, yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about convex hull, I think, in a past episode, right?
Yeah, correct. But this is the an initial optimized way to do it, and it works quite well, because taking in consideration using the matrix routing to generate different routes to different destinations at the same time, we are getting information from that API. We're getting the shorter distance, and we're getting the fastest as well.
Right.
So we know exactly how long does it take, the estimated travel time that we need to, for each segment of the road, and then after that optimize recursively after getting up to the HB destination to finalize their whole route.
Yeah, so we're basically, and this is why we explain it, we use this really interesting website called tsbviz.com, which has a really good just basic explanation of how nearest neighbor works, in terms of we have all the remaining sort of delivery stops, and after each stop that's the next closest, you resort and you choose the next closest over and over. And then convex hull, of course, works a little differently, like you said. And so here we chose nearest neighbor, because obviously if you're wanting to do a food delivery service, you want to chain those stops into the next closest. And we route those in two different ways, right? So we'll talk about routing purely for time and routing by distance, because those are not always the same thing.
True. Let me see. Maybe we can show the application, the demo.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, well, let me fix your camera, because
the
camera keeps zooming in and out, but all right.
It's moving, still moving.
It's moving again. Oh, now it's zoomed in again, so I have to transition it again. I don't know. That's like a very specific today kind of issue.
We are still on OBS, right? Using OBS.
Right, we are. So we may have to move over to the Twitch, the
studio.
Yeah, Twitch studio. Wait, it didn't want to capture your screen. Let's see. Okay, cool. There you go. Sorry for all the circles.
How about that now?
The TomTom logo spins. We're on the right screen.
Oh, let me see. Oh, yes, we are live. We are live with the demo.
Yeah, so you can see the demo now.
Yeah. It's a small demo. What it does is we have a food delivery company here I think we did it in Valencia, but we can change it now to another city. Make it in someplace in North America. How about that? Do that right now. And what it does is we have a headquarters in this address, and we use the geocoding, API just to enter an address, for example, here. Yeah. I have my notes. Oh, whoops. That's food delivery. That's my notes for the screen. Let me see if I can. To enter street, let me see, calle, if I remember, Sativa. Does it work? Does it exist? Let me see.
Searching in Valencia.
Oh, it does
there
exist.
We go.
It does exist. Yeah. So what we did is using the oh, by mistake, I think I moved my I moved my auto. I moved the car. Yeah. So we added the address right here in the delivery list in the bottom, and because we are assuming that we are entering the address when we are in the phone call. Hey, we want to deliver this address, but usually, to make it more realistic or more like in a real example, would be all these addresses. They come probably from a backend, from the application or the company. So we emulated that by clicking on the map, I think, and using the reverse geocoding to get the address, the other way around. Let's see if I can click here. Yeah, it does says Avenida de los Naranjos in Valencia, this one. And what we did is, okay, with two destinations, we're going to create a route, and we using this algorithm, which is in this case the nearest neighbor, we're going to go through all the destination and see what would be the most or the optimized route to go from headquarters to destination 1, destination 2, and then go back to the headquarters. And in this case, we calculated this is a 12-kilometer speed count, but it only takes 30 minutes. It's a longer route, but it's faster than the using by distance. The shortest route would be only 11 kilometers, but it takes 35 minutes.
Yeah, so I think in a lot of cases, obviously I don't know if it's happening in Valencia, but a lot of times maybe we can guess that we're routing around traffic or something like this, because a lot of times like the shortest distance route, it could fall on something like a freeway, something like this, and we can route around it.
Yes. I think we also got the guidance. From the routing API, we get the instructions. So in this case, using the speed as an optimizer, the fastest route, we got this instructions like, oh, they put them in Spanish. I remember. We're gonna change that.
Them in Spanish. I didn't realize it would do that actually.
Of course, we support several languages, the same languages that we have to support in the Maps APIs.
It's interesting because when we have the output of the directions, I wasn't sure exactly, I think, where we would take the language from, because as far as I would understand, there's maybe more than one way to indicate what language you're going to read out the directions in.
Oh,
or
I see.
Would it just come regionally?
Oh.
Because couldn't you set it to say maybe your region or like your systems region as opposed to the region that you're working in? I don't know if that's possible, but it's something interesting.
We can set it to, fortunately, we can set it to whatever parameters you wanted the instructions for. Like, for example, let me just double check here. And this is Valencia. I remember in the code, I think it was at the end. Oh, remember this code is the one we have in GitHub. The same one. Okay. Oh, there it is. For example, the route options, we have travel mode. And when
so you could set the
instruction types
too.
Text. Exactly. So I think by default should be English. That means if I just
would the default be
comment
English?
That out. Yeah. Okay. Like international English. So let's see. And this one, another route here. Optimize. Let's see. Now it's in English. Yeah. Leave from Calle de Játiva. Take the Calle Guillem Castro, Avenida del Cid.
And so then we see all the directions, but we see them for both, so you can toggle between both.
Yeah.
And you can also, of course, see on the map where the difference is.
The shortest. Yeah, the shortest. Also, the shortest will be by distance, will be the blue one. The blue one here. And there will be this route here, the blue one. Interesting.
So it actually looks like in this case that it's taking a freeway because it's faster.
Yes. How's German? German should be DA. DA, right? Should be written like that? Yeah, let's see.
I've yet to speak German on the stream, but I don't know that today will be that day.
Kein Problem.
It's entirely possible that, Jose, you speak better German than I do.
Sure. Fahren Sie auf die Calle de la Democracia, Paseo de la Pechina. Fahren Sie auf die... Okay, notice that these are very generic, high-level instructions. We decided in the demo, get the high-level instruction, but we didn't...
It's not turn by turn specifically. It's just saying drive on this road, because like fahren Sie auf, for example, is just drive on this road, like go on this road.
Drive here, please, until you get to this street, and then take this one.
It's not like turn left in 500 feet. It's just saying here's the road, basically.
Indeed, yeah. Let me see if I can see the where we create the. Obviously, remember, should be here. Okay, we get the route description, the element path, then instructions. All right. Let me see.
So what are we looking for? What are we looking for?
I'm looking for the instructions.
Oh, for the instructions.
Because this is a section on the when we created the route with the waypoints. I also request instructions, which is set by the instruction type.
This is part of the request.
Part of the request. So in the result, on the response, we provide the JSON response. We'll have two sections. One is called the instruction groups, which is like this one here. Oops, sorry. Instruction groups like this one. And also there are like instructions in general, which is the turning by turn, by turn instructions. Let me see. I would like to see them. I would like to see the, let me see.
So would that give us the turn by turn then?
Yes.
Interesting, okay.
It's what is my console? I think we are printing them. This is, okay, these are the...
Oh, there we go.
The generic instructions,
those are just the general,
and we have
where it's saying to start and then where to drive onto.
Yeah, and you see in the section guidance, we have instructions and instruction groups.
Okay. So the instructions are the total turn by turn, or?
No, the instructions are the turn by turn. Okay, like something like in so many meters,
it's very
do
precise.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in so many meters later, or so many seconds later, do something. It's very interesting because this will be really, really accurate. There is a combined message value, which is, in this case, German.
Stay on this route.
Stay on this. I haven't seen. Yeah. And we can actually, let's try to print them. It's called instructions, and the value is an array. Instructions.
Yeah, let's try to print them out right now. Instructions. Depart.
Yeah, instruction.
Oh, so it does give the instructions in English, but it gives the message in German because we indicated German, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, these are they are uppercase. Yeah. These are like values, like constants values. You're driving on the right side. The country code is on Spanish. You're in Spain.
It's actually pretty detailed.
The maneuver is called depart. Yeah. So these are codes, but the text.
So and then it translates it. Message. Okay, interesting. Which is actually good. I mean, at least for me, if I saw that, I would know what's going on, even though it's in German.
Message. So instructions, message. Let's see. Like if I go to the code, so it's guidance. Yeah, the instructions group. Let's change it to instructions. instructions. And if we have instructions, then the guidance, instructions, and the element for creating a map out of it. The element should be called message. That means to be message here. Message. That would be it, probably. Let's see it.
Cool.
Let's see it. Oh, by the way, let's turn it back to English.
Yeah, let's set the directions maybe in English.
Let's see. From here and here. So leave from Calle Jativa, keep left at Calle Jativa, then keep, okay.
Yeah, so these are much more readable. Like, these are a lot more like the directions you would have
Turn
seen,
left onto Puente
you would have
Real,
printed
okay.
out a while ago,
Exactly.
right? Or that you would hear, except with the lack of, like, precise meters. Even though we know that it can go down to precise meters, like in 300 meters later, turn left. It's still turn by turn, though.
I'm curious. Yeah, still, this is not for doing navigation, of course, but it gives you guidance of what's the road that we have to do. So let me just see here. Why I don't see numbers? Like I want to see the. Okay.
Oh yeah, we don't see the numbers.
Okay, because there's something called combine message.
It seems like it's combining, like the maneuver and the instruction type and everything.
Yeah, like keep the left at Calle Guillem Castro, then be
so it's
left.
Like leading into the next direction, basically. Oh, okay.
Correct. And also, if you can see, we also have the amount, the meters, which is turn angles, travel time in seconds, roof offset meter point. Okay, so you can say in, you can add manually, like in 49 seconds, approximately, keep left at Calle Guillem Castro and do something. For example, this is a bifurcation because keep the left and put index. It's quite it's quite you can write a lot of.
Yeah, it's a bit of a complicated process, but this would be. I mean, our prototype, of course, doesn't look as fancy, but you could, using this, you could build an app that's not only keeping track of the different stops you have left, but is actually giving the guidance too, and it's not just showing the map in itself. Like, it could provide the directions or the route planning for the driver or however you want to use it, right? So it'd be a lot more detailed as an application if you wanted to build it out yourself.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can create more than one.
We want to do more than one destination.
Yeah, more than one destination. Here we can have up to more than, I think, how many waypoints can we have? More 100 waypoints, right? Yep. So okay, for example, do you have the by speed? In this case, there's not much difference, and I know why. Actually, I know why, because okay, the fastest route, which is the red one, will go in 1 hour and almost 9 minutes, and the shortest route will go over in 1 hour 20 minutes, right? And you say, oh, it's only like 10-minute difference. There's no, I mean, what would be optimized? Well, the reason was is because right now it's 9:30 p.m. in Valencia. Yeah, and the streets probably are empty. So let's go to California or Oregon.
Let's go
or
to Oregon.
Something. Oh, the West Coast?
Is somewhere where there's, let's see, it's lunchtime. So I also imagine that it should be pretty.
And go to Portland.
Go to Portland. We love Portland.
We love Portland, yeah.
I always use Portland in my examples. Like, whenever I've done the EV routing example at meetups, back when in-person meetups were a thing, I did the Silicon Valley to Portland road trip. It's also a nice drive.
Okay. Let me just go quickly. I'm going to clean this. And if yeah, of course, that's no problem. It's trying to route right now from
Valencia
in
to
Spain.
Portland, and that's not going to work out very well, really, because
right now it will not. I
because
just
we
want to
don't
get
have
the latitude long
the
location.
boat cars
Portland,
that you would need to get across the ocean.
or the flying cars.
That's true. The flying cars. We don't have the flying cars.
The flying cars. So
We don't support
okay,
flying cars with the
location.
APIs. Sorry. Not yet. Anyway.
We might in the future. Yeah. No. Yeah. So this is the long lat of Portland, and we're going to Portland. And we're gonna do the same function. I don't think we have anything else to Valencia. We have Valencia here. Okay, the first point is Valencia, Portland. And the markers in Portland. And I think that would be it. Oh, I remember. I hard-coded the text.
The starting point.
The starting point. We're gonna do something better. We can actually put the real address with reverse geocoding and update the real address there. You can do that very quickly. But let's see how it looks like now. Let's go back to the code, reload, and we're in Portland. Let's see. Okay, this is the location. Let's see if we want to come here. Oh, the streets are very square. Right. Okay, so we have
the Portland grid situation
fastest route. Yeah, grid. Well, right now it's the same.
It's roughly
distance
the same,
or
but it is a different route.
Roughly the same, but it's totally different route. Yeah. Okay. Remember, every route that we create using the waypoints, the routing API, of course, it has the traffic information, real traffic information already in the calculation, but also if this route is faster or closer than the other one, right? And it will also take in consideration the work on the roads, all the traffic incidents that we can happen. Yeah. All right, let's see. Another entity here.
Oh, very different.
There it is.
Very different routes.
Now,
so again, it's going on the freeway because I imagine there's not much traffic on the freeway for the fastest one.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking
the fastest one
shortest.
is highway.
Well.
Let's see. Leave from. Okay. Okay. Let's All right. Let's make this a little bit more programmatically correct. Let's change this headquarters. Yeah, with headquarter. We can do that. Okay, first we have an ID already. It's called HQ headquarter, HQ
so we want
address.
To change the name to make it the Portland HQ or something else.
Yeah, something else. So nobody's using this HQ address. And when the map is loaded already, maybe we can call the reverse geocoding. Okay. When the map is loaded, we display the HQ. And display HQ is just add a marker, correct? And that's it, seems to be. Just add the marker. But right now we can update the address. So to update the address with location, so we can, here it is. We can do a reverse geocoding. Reverse geocoding. And let me see if I can here copy it here, and then function goes here. So what it does is we're gonna reverse geocode Portland, the location that we have for Portland. We can see the response here, probably a first result, and the address should be in freeform address. What we want to do is document. Oh, sorry. Document. I think we go with file element. get element by ID. And we're going to, what was the ID? HQ, address.
And that's how we'll,
the inner HTML element value, let's put it with the address value. Okay, let's see if it does. There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
So we pulled the headquarters from the car location in Portland.
Correct.
Which I think will be also how we end the stream today, because we're doing our 30-minute stream, so it's an extra short stream today, talking about.
So what are we going to do in the next one? Like quickly to create some kind of aperitif, because we have created the marker in this application, like it can move. So every time we move, we're gonna update the value, of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense, update the value. And when we are going, let me see, I will reload again. When we create a route, we shall create, we're using the geofencing API to create like a geometrical fence.
So we can notify when the delivery is almost there. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's say that you create a fence here. We did that already in another episode, so it should be easy to do for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to move our car slowly, and when it gets close by, or flying flying over the streets like I'm doing right now, we're going to send a notification to someone. So if you want to get notification, maybe you want to give us your email address, and then you'll get notified when it's close by.
Yeah, so we can then have the delivery notifications based on the geofence. So that will be a good topic for our next episode, because we're doing this part 2 actually on Thursday at the same time. So at 12 PST, we'll be back talking about geofencing with our small service delivery app.
Yep. We look forward to see you again.
Yeah, cool. So thanks for mapping with us, and have a good rest of your days.
Yeah. Are you in lunchtime, right?
It's like after. It's 2:30 here, so in Austin time.
Happy lunch.
But
Happy lunch.
Happy mapping.
Happy mapping. Thank you. See you later.